Sergeant Daly was 51 years old. He had 28 years with the Metropolitan Police Department there in the District of Columbia. Now, he was a Marine Corps veteran, and he had a wife and 2 children. Now, the police department headquarters would later be renamed in his honor. Special Agent Miller, he was 41 years old. He had 10 years on the job, and he was survived by his parents. Special Agent Martinez, she was 35 years old. She had 7 years with the FBI. Now, she had a husband. Mama and Daddy were still alive, and she had 2 brothers. It's November 22nd, 1994. It's about 3:15 in the evening. Now, our suspect, he walks into the police building, and he gets on the elevator, and he heads up to the MPD squad rooms that are on the 3rd floor. Now, inside his jacket, he's got a Tech 9. Some resource material referred to it as an assault weapon. I used to refer to it as a machine pistol, but whatever you call it, it shoots a lot of bullets in a short amount of time, and it's very compact. Now, I don't know if it was a semi-automatic or fully auto. Resource material indicates that the suspect was a gang member, so I get the feeling it probably had been altered. Now, he goes into the squad room where the cold case unit is. He opens up, he kills Special Agent Martinez, Special Agent Miller, and he kills Sergeant Daly. Now, another special agent in the room, he was shot multiple times, later survived, and also a 15-year-old boy was also wounded. Now, a week prior to the shooting, the suspect had been questioned in a triple homicide. Now, he left handwritten notes at his home indicating that his intended targets were actually the commander of the MPD's homicide squad and the investigator. So he went to the wrong office. And now the suspect would also die during this shootout. Now, it seems that some of the resource material said that the suspect, after being questioned in this triple murder, and in fact some resource material said he was called down there more than once, that the word out on the street was the suspect was cooperating. So, of course, some resource material states that other gang members thought maybe he was a snitch, which is not a good thing if you're in a street gang. So either he went down there to murder police in order to square himself with the gang to show that he wasn't a snitch, or he had an issue. Now, resource material states when he walked into the cold case squad office that he never said a word, just started firing. Now, more than 40 shots were fired between the suspect and the officers in the room. Now, how the suspect died there's 2 versions of that. One states that the suspect, after he got through doing the shooting he was going to do, he got Agent Martinez's pistol and he shot himself in the head. Now, there was a little bit of controversy about how easy it was for the suspect to get up onto the 3rd floor. Now, the police station, it also houses the Department of Motor Vehicles, Department of Finance and Revenue. Now, that building just sits there on Indiana Avenue, right there at 3rd Street Northwest. It's only about a half mile from the White House and just a few blocks from the Capitol. Now, some police officers said that security at the building was non-existent, which I guess this event would prove that to be true. Some of the police said that anybody could just walk into this building and take over. Now, when the suspect had gotten into the building, he got on the elevator. He got off at the 3rd floor, and there was 2 fellows in the hallway there. Now, they were actually witnesses in a cold case that those investigators were working, and that they were heading up there to meet one of the detectives or one of the agents in the squad room. So now when the suspect asked these 2 fellows where was the homicide unit, they said, well, just follow them. That's where they were going, which it wasn't. But in any event, he just stumbled into the wrong area. Now, some investigators said that they don't know if the suspect actually killed himself or not. Said that the gunshot wound to the forehead's what killed him. And they said that the location of that wound, it's very unusual place to put the pistol to kill yourself. Now, I don't know if they ever figured out which way that went or not. Now, ATF would later trace that Tech 9 that the suspect used to a fellow in Kentucky. Now, that fellow was selling illegal guns to convicted criminals. So that gun went from Kentucky up to Washington, D.C. Now, that fellow in Kentucky, he got to spend 15 years in federal prison for his troubles. Sergeant Henry Joseph Hank Daly. Special Agent Michael John Miller. Special Agent Martha Dixon Martinez. End of watch, November 22nd, 1994.